Hello everyone. So uh, today we are going to see how you can install the auto cache out tool and how you can use it and what are the things that you should keep in your mind while using the auto cache out tool. So after you have downloaded the tool, you will get a zip folder. Let's just open a terminal. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what OS you're using, it will be same everywhere. So I'm just using Linux, and you can see all the details of my system here. So I will just, as you can see, I have already downloaded it, auto cache out zip, and I have already extracted it out, auto cache out. So I'll just go inside auto cache out to show you the things. So I have opmenu.xml file, I have OTL, and I have a script. So these are the three things that I have currently. And the only thing, so these are the three things that I have, and I will suggest you that if you don't have opmenu.xml file in your Houdini home directory, that is this one, Houdini 18.5. So I'll just show you. Sorry. So if you don't have any opmenu XML file here, or if you don't have any OTL folder, or if you don't have any scripts folder, then just take these three and paste it here. Like as for me, I don't have any, as you can see it here. So I will just take these three and I will just paste it there. So I'll just go back to where I was. Okay. Auto cache out. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I will just take this from here and I will paste it to Houdini home directory. So I'll just paste opmenu XML OTLs and scripts to home Houdini 18.5. Hopefully this will be done. And as you can see, we have OTL folder, we have opmenu.xml file, and we also have the scripts. Now if you already have OTLs folder and if you already have the script folder, what you can do is you can just go inside the OTLs folder and you can take these two, cache in HDA and cache out HDA, and copy just these two to your existing OTL folder. And for the script also, what I will suggest you to do is you can just go inside the scripts. There's a Python folder inside of the scripts folder. So once you go inside the Python folder, you will see all these things here. So we have a few icons, and these are the scripts: cache out py, auto cache out py, save comments py, test mail py. These are all the scripts. So you just take these 4 scripts and make sure if you are dropping inside of your existing scripts folder, you do have a Python folder created also, else it won't work properly. So now that we have done all of these things, I'll just clear it and I will launch Houdini. Okay, so I have launched a new session of Houdini. I'll just get into my usual workspace. Yeah. Now, what I will suggest you to do is when you are launching a new session of Houdini for using this tool, what I will suggest you to do is just create a new project, because this is the best way to keep things proper. So when you are creating a new project, just make sure you are having a cache folder. Now by default, you won't have any cache folder here, so I'll just take custom one. Now this is very important that you have a cache folder, because all of your caches will be saved in this folder only. So this is very important that you have a cache folder in your project, else it won't work. It will give you errors. So just have a cache folder like this, and I will just change the name here. I will name it test, not test project. Let's name it YouTube project or Twitter demo project. demo project, and I will save it. Home folder Houdini. Home folder Houdini. Yeah, that's fine. I guess home folder Houdini. I'll accept it. So $home Houdini demo project. This will be my path, and this will be the. I'll just accept it. And I will just check one more thing that is also a bit important. That is, you go to your alias and variables, come to variables. Make sure your currently I don't have any HIP file saved, so let me just save it. Save as, and I will save it in the $job. So I'll name it demo HIP. Now this is extremely important. Do not use any numbers here. Okay, don't use any numerical value. Don't type version 01 or 01 or 02 or anything. Your file will be automatically version out, and I will show you how that is happening. So as of now, do not use any number while you are saving the file for the first time. Don't use anything, just write the name of the file and hit accept and let it save. So that's fine. And I will just check one more thing, that my $job and $hip are same. So $job and my $hip, yeah, both are same. Okay, now how to use the tool. So I'll just put down a geometry, and let's say we want to cache out a box. You will never do this in an actual scenario, but let's say we want to cache out a box. Let's start small. So you don't have to select the node. You just come here, you set the auto cache out, you hit it, and this window will pop up, and you name the cache. I will just name it box. I will just cache out one frame. So I'll hit bgo.sc. You can select bdb, abc, whatever you wish, and you just create nodes. So you get something like this. This is a cache-in node. Of course, it's not cached yet, so it is blank, so it is giving you error. And out context, you get the box node. So all these paths are automatically set. Auto version is turned on, and I will show you all the other things also. So just select this one and you hit. Now notice what's happening here. We have a demo HIP file here, and version is currently 0. So you hit render, and we have our version 1, and the HIP file is also set to version 1. Okay, so this is what is happening. So if you want to, so now if you come back here, you can see we have also version 1 here. You can click load latest, but there is just only one version, so it is here only. Now I will show you in the console how it looks. CD. So I'll go to the folder where I have project. So this is here, and that was like demo YouTube, I guess. Demo project, right? Demo project and caches. No, just file a directory. Oh, that's good. Okay, its name was cache, not caches. Sorry, cache ls. Now you can see we have a cache saved named box, and if I go inside the box, you will see we have version 001 saved here. Right, so this is what is happening in your disk. This is how it is saving things out. Now, how is the file version incrementing? I will come back to that. But before that, there is a feature of this tool that if you add some comment here in this section, you can see the comment on the viewport. So how do we do that? So let's add some comments. Let's say this is the box. Now, of course, you won't add this kind of comments here. You will add actual valuable comments, but I'm just giving it for a demo, and I will just add. You can also channel reference things here. So copy parameter, paste with reference, and all these things. You can also type Vix here. So if I type near points, you can see these things are happening. So I have typed version, and let's say demo lines. And let's say we want to know the scale of the box. So scale. Okay, so all these things are there, and you can see it is here. So after adding all these comments, once you hit save, you will notice the version will automatically increment here. Yeah, so we are in version 2 now, and our HIP file is also version 2. So once you hit save, and after that, once you come here in the inbox category and you put your mouse pointer in the screen and hit enter, and there you go. These are all your comments here. This is a box version 2, demo lines, scale 1. and once you remove your mouse, it will vanish. Once you bring it back on, it will be here again. Okay, so this happens. So let's say we want to save another version, which is version 3. So we save it here, version 3, and now we come back here and we bring, but it is showing version 2 still. And why is that? So in Python states, it won't refresh unless you hit escape and hit enter again. You have to select the node and then hit enter. Hit escape and hit enter. Yeah, there you go. So this is the box, and you can see we have version 3. So let's say you want to check the comments of version 2. So you come here, you remove this auto version thingy, type version 2. So your cache will also change, but since we are just saving one box, you can't see it. But as you can see, the comment is not changing here. So what you will do is you will select the node, you will hit escape and hit enter again, and you will get the previous version comment. So whenever you are upgrading version or downgrading a version, just make sure that your node is selected and you hit escape and then you hit enter again, so that the comment is visible here. Now another good thing about this, I will just turn this on. Another good thing about this tool is that you can actually send yourself mails once the job is done. Before that, there is also a deleting section. I will show you how it works. But you can also send yourself mails. So how do you send yourself mails when the job is done? So to show that, actually, I'll have to show you a thing first. So that is, you need to create a password for your own mail account. That is the first thing that you need to do. So let's say I just go to my browser, and if I just open Gmail, this is my account. So I will come here and I will go to manage your Google account, and here I have to go to security, I suppose. Yeah, so once you come to the security section, you have this app password section. So in this app password section, you have to type your password first. Once you do that, it will take you here. So in this app password section, you have to create a password. If this will only work if you have two-factor authentication set in your mail ID. So you have to select an app. I have already selected mail. No, I have selected a custom, and I named it Python. And once you do that, once you select custom and you click generate, there will be a password. I will show you how the password looks like. It is actually really long, so I have to save it somewhere else. And once you have that password, you need that. So what I will do is I will just come here, and first I will bring that password because that is like really long. So it is saved here somewhere. The downloads in the documents, H18.5 and scripts, Python should be the password. Yeah, so this is my password. So I'll come here and I will let's do another cache. Let's not do this one. So I will do a cache of Krag, and I will also get the opportunity to show you how it caches out all the frames. So auto cache out. Let's name this Krag. Choose render frame range. I will just cache 50 frames. Video.sc. Okay, so the nodes are created here, and as always, you won't see anything right away. So Krag is here. So I'll hit send mail, not select mail, and I will paste the password first because this is very important. This, as you can see, it's really long. So my sender email is the email that I have here, the Google account. This is the account. This is my email. So I will just type that. And I will mail it to my another account. Okay, so these are done. So that's done. So I will also add a few comments. This is Krag. I'll add the version comment here. So version, I'll also add a frame range. just like that. So now once this entire thing finishes, once the cache out finishes, it is supposed to send me a mail. So I will just hit render, and as you can see, it's rendering. And it's done. So now I have to check if I have got the mail or not. So I'll just go here, mail ID. It's taking some time to open. I don't know why it shouldn't take time to open. Here we go. So as you can see, I already have the mail here, Houdini mail. And see, our comment was this is Crag, but before the comment, it actually shows you the ROP name. So ROP name is Crag that we had done here. Comments is this is Crag version 1 frame range 50. Now one thing I don't know if you have noticed or not, I actually saved a version of Crag, but my file is version 3. So how is this thing working? How is the file version working? So the file version works in a way that your file will upgrade a version only if your cache version exceeds the file version. That is, Crag here has version 1. It is not more than version 3. So that's why my file is stuck to version 3. It is locked in a version 3 only. But the moment I create a cache that has more than 3 version, my file will automatically upgrade. So let's try that out. So let's take a sphere and auto cache out. Okay, so another feature I want to show is that we already have a box, cache named box, and a cache named Crag. So if you type box again and if you hit this, it will actually give you an error message, and it will show you that the cache already exists and you should use a new name for the cache. So this way you can prevent overwriting caches. So I will just from auto cache and I will hit sphere, bgo.sc, and create nodes. So now let's check this one. I'll just connect. So we have box and Crag as of now, and I'll keep this open so that I can show you. So I'm not adding any comments for this field because it's just for testing. So render it out. So you have seen that this is version 1, file is version 3, and if we hit ls again, we have a sphere, cd sphere, we have a version 1. So hit render again, we have version 2 and 2 versions here. File is still at version version 3. Hit render again. So we have now 3 version here, and our file is also version 3. So now until this point, any of the cache in any of these 3 nodes didn't cross version 3. But now if I cross version 3, then the file version will also upgrade. So I select sphere and I hit render. You see version 4, and the file has also upgraded to version 4. So your file version will always stay with the latest cache version. So whenever you take the latest file, you are actually taking all the latest cache versions also. Another thing is how to delete these caches. So we have 4 versions here. So you can delete a specific version. So let's say I want to delete version 4 of sphere. So delete cache, and you see version 1, 2, 3. We don't have version 4. You can also delete range. So I will select delete range and delete version 1, 2, 3. So delete cache, and as you can see, there is no cache here. Let's do the same for the box also. You can easily just take this thing, copy parameter, paste relative reference, and then do a delete range thingy here. That's it. I deleted all the caches for the box also. So now we don't have cache for sphere or for box. But now another thing is that I want to show you is how to do dependencies if you have. So I have box and sphere. So currently if you go to my cache folder, so we have box, sphere. We just have the box and sphere. There is no cache. I can show you that if we go inside box. See, there is no cache, and if we go inside sphere, see, there is no cache inside sphere also. Those are just empty folders. So now if we put dependencies on and if we put render, we'll automatically see it drops back to version 1 because we don't have existing cache version, right? So it won't increment anymore. So it drops back to a version 1. The file stays at a version 4 because that's a latest. That was the latest rather. Now we have deleted the caches, but it drops back to version 1 for sphere. For box also it drops back to version 1. I can show you that there are caches. You can see version 1 for box and sphere. You can also see version 1 for sphere. So basically this is the entire tool actually. Now if you want to overwrite a cache, you can just come here, you can come to this sphere, you can remove this auto version thing. I guess we are in sphere only. Yeah, remove this auto version and hit render as many times as you want. It will not upgrade your cache. See, this is still version 1 only. It didn't update or anything. So you like this, you can just overwrite your caches. And I guess I have shown everything. If you have any other comments, any other questions to ask, you can just comment it down. You can ask it in the comments. You can mail me in my mail ID that I have already provided in the Gumroad section. And I hope there are no bugs or glitches in this, but if there are bugs and glitches, do let me know in the mail. Don't comment about that. Just let me know in the mail so that I can revert to you and I can fix it. So thank you for downloading. Thank you for using this tool. All the best.